and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you'd like to reach out to the show, you can find us on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook at Casting Roles ILM. We stream here on Twitch on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and our videos are uploaded on Friday of the same week. But with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. So, ticket takers. After leaving the mage demi-plane of Ahriman, having kind of ransacked his hoard, you made your way back not back to the inn that you'd been to, but you made yourself to Erogenes Drought, where Vox Populi had kind of holed up and made themselves their home in Feldspar. Discovering that you had been absent for 3 days in the plane, you kind of reconnected with each other and came up with plans and ideas for what to happen next. And then with the urging of Juridan the next morning, you went off to a local park so that you could escape from the prying ears, revealing that Yorian had requested the rescuing of the Quicksilver and the attached airship for the uses of Vox Populi. The group decided what they would or would not do with that suggestion, only to discover that you had been followed and monitored by the leader of the Risk Breakers. A few questions later, and not quite sure how much of your conversation he had overheard, he brought in his second in command, Yorian, to oversee and plan with you so that the Risk Breakers could be kept in the loop. After Yorian revealed his plan to all of you, you were left with some options of where you could go and what you could do to unseat the enemies of the Crown and others from Feldspar. So, ticket takers, with the morning still, well, it's kind of mid-afternoon ahead of you. You've got things that you could potentially tackle this evening or wait, but it's up to you. What would you all like to do?
So we've already deduced that the ship can probably wait for a couple of days, correct? Or at least another day.
I'm gonna say this out of character. They said they were gonna go double check on that.
Yeah.
Yorian was gonna send some people.
Yorian and his men are off to do that. Yeah.
Our plan, I'm character now, had been to rescue the mayor and the lawmaster first, and then when they're busy over there, that will hopefully make the sacred fold like a little more distracted, and then we can go get the church and then do the ship. What we had theoretically talked about 5 minutes ago.
The other thing on the plate was the mayor's house, where the leader of the Tide Warders and Captain Kit were holed up.
Oh, that's fine. We could just.
And that is potentially where the demon is residing as well.
Yeah.
So we could take care of the good fellow debt or request. Do you think it would be worth trying to infiltrate the mayor's house where Rhaenys Wade and Captain Kit are holed up?
I mean, I can get in, probably.
Oh.
Yeah, Yori and I talked a lot about stealth. Yeah. I'd probably get me in at the very least, and if we wanted to do like a full infiltration assault kind of thing, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, one of us can be invisible. Well, I guess I might be able to invisible 2 people. If I cast it at higher level?
I think so, yeah.
Do the Lutrinians who work for Captain Kit have a uniform?
You're not sure.
We should find that out.
Maybe we could just knock one out, take his clothes, put it on Kamada. That seems reasonable. I mean, unless they're in really small numbers and they go, hold on, you're not Jeff. We blink. No, you're not Jeff.
This guy is
Well,
in Jeff.
Captain Kitts would know who his crew was. However, the other people in the house probably wouldn't. So if someone were to see him other than Captain Kitts, he's just one of the sailors.
From what Yorian told you as well, the mayor's house at night is surprisingly unguarded.
At night, is surprisingly
Mm.
unguarded. He did say that during our exchange.
That might just
Well, if
be...
nothing else, maybe we can, find some incriminating shit about them, Just go through the shit. It could help us out.
Yeah. Or if we could, interrogate one of them, maybe find some more details.
Ooh. Yeah.
Amano?
I'm not saying that's what I do, but it could be.
I have a certain set of skills.
Remember that when I was like really
Freaking
scary last session? That was crazy.
Kamana, you were saying something?
I was gonna say maybe the whole reason that it's not guarded is because there's nothing for us there at night. Maybe they moved the mayor to
Well,
a
I'm
more
thinking-
The
secure
mayor's
location.
not there, I believe. The mayor is being
He's in
held
the
at the stockyard.
The stockade, yeah.
The stockade, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Not where they keep the
I
cattle.
don't know where.
Same difference.
Yeah, the
Same
mayor's
difference.
and the mayor's house might not be guarded at night because that's when the devil is active, perhaps.
Maybe they're not worried about guarding them because they already well guarded by the demon that they are in cahoots with.
And how?
Go ahead.
We're just gonna go into that.
How else do you fight a demon?
Well, I'm thinking don't fight it because that sounds insane. Especially if we don't know how powerful it is. And even our bag buddy was like, that's fucked up. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna deal with that. So that seems
Our text was not very.
I wasn't gonna say the name, but yeah.
You rang? No.
We already whispered all of our secrets into the ear of the risk breakers.
Hopefully
leaders.
not all of them. Jesus.
I was gonna say something. Oh no, but I was thinking maybe if we could just like look through for anything written down of the name.
Well,
Yeah, okay. That sounds more like a stealth game. So
the name
what
is either
if-
kept someplace super secure, or we have to get the guy, and in exchange for his life, he has to tell us the name.
We should also probably figure out why he's just like chilling with a person. Seems weird. Probably should just like at least look into what they're doing with that and why.
Well, usually that's. No, I wouldn't know that. Never mind. Never mind.
Actually, wait a minute. Josh?
Yep.
My whole class is built off this.
Yes.
Can I do a like a history check or like Arcana or whatever you want about like what's up with this guy, maybe?
With Rinus, the leader of the Tidewarders?
No, with the devil.
Yeah, you can roll either history or religion, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Can I roll again because I have that?
It's the advantage because it is a fiend. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
Ooh. 21.
Okay, so it's difficult to know because you don't know exactly what kind of devil you're dealing with, but you know in general that devils are not creatures of the Shadowfell, but they are servants of the dark god who fell, and he basically dreamed them into existence from his nightmares. And they follow a very strict order and hierarchy. So they have, they're lesser devils who serve their masters and then serve other masters. And then ultimately there would be a leading devil somewhere. And so you're not sure whether this would be the leading devil or one who is following a higher master further up. But you do know that there is magic in the devil's names because they are such bound by such law that if you can learn the devil's true name, that you can actively control them. There are stories about devils waging war against the Shadowfell for the dominance within the hierarchy of Caiaphas's order. And so there's a little bit of it with the 21. You're thinking, well, Artax's reluctance to go near a devil might be more of the fact that he was a general in the Shadowfell army, and the having a devil nearby is like having a sworn enemy nearby and being certain that this creature would attack him on sight. So he's trying to stay under the radar of things. But that's kind of what you know without knowing exactly what kind of devil you're dealing with.
Okay.
So
I do a mini lecture on devils or what I know.
Well, hopefully it's one of those lesser ones, not a bigger one.
Well, if
It's only 2 credit hours.
Josh, what level of devil? What level of devil was the ones that they were summoning in Hightower?
Oh, in Hightower, they were like 4
Out of
out
Like
of
10.
well, I mean, like the demon lord would be like
Okay.
a 30.
okay, I wanted
yeah.
to scale here.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
the highest level devil is like a CR 24 or 25. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah, no, we do not want to play with those guys.
No,
Those, if we ever run into one, we are exceedingly polite.
They're basically demigods. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Devil-
why I don't want to fight it unless like we know that we
to.
can take
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Devils are easier to deal with than demons.
Yeah, and Mar would know that, like that the first devil that was birthed from there was 2 groups that were birthed. There were devils and demons, and the first 2 that were birthed, one embodied the order and fear that Caiaphas had, and then the demons embodied the chaos and fear that Caiaphas had. They would be like considered the archfiends, and would be they're sealed well away in either the infinite halls of pandemonium or in the endless abyss.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, as far as daytime stuff goes, I know, Source, you wanted to try to talk to the other rat folk. Is that
Yep.
the correct term? I don't want to.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Right, folk?
I think Source gets to like create it, right? I mean, there's not a
You
lot
already trust
of
them,
other
you're
stuff to
fine.
go
It's
on.
just you. Yeah, it's just the 6 of you.
Right. Yeah, I just don't want to. You're a very nice person, rat person.
As long as you're not using pejoratives or pointing and laughing, I think we're going to be good.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. For someone who plays the piccolo so beautifully, I would never. Unless you really fuck up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, if you want to go try to maybe talk to them, see what we can find out. Because I don't think there's much we can do until nighttime. Otherwise,
Right. Do we know where the ratkin are?
Where you saw them was in the mines. So that might be a logical place to begin your search.
Okay. Does anybody want to go with me?
I will.
I am
Okay.
I am interested in. I'll go with you as well.
Abel, you might need a. I like look at you. I'm like, you're gonna want to invisible yourself or disguise, or you stick out a little bit.
Yes,
A lot.
I have a couple of spells to help to deal with that. You might be right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to go maybe scout out some of the locations we're talking about infiltrating from a distance?
Yeah, I think that'd be very useful, and maybe check out if we can look
Well,
at some of these silos too. Maybe.
Yeah.
okay, I'm kind of thinking. Would Jury be better going with Saurus? If there's convincing that needs to be done of the other rat folk.
No, I don't think I'll be much help with that.
Okay.
I mean, I
alright.
think Saurus is probably the best bet with that kind of situation.
Okay.
And
I
I'm
just
going to
don't-
use
just-
the Hutzpah method of entry. Just so you know, for those of you who are going with me.
God.
All right.
Just Everyone be careful. Remember, we're not supposed to be here.
And when are we meeting back? And where?
Arachne's drought by...
Sunfall?
Yeah.
All right. So you've probably got about 6 hours till sunfall, or maybe 5. It's probably 3 o'clock. Yeah. So 5 hours or so until sunfall.
I know it's technically called nightfall, but it just sunfall seems fun
I like
to say.
sunfall.
It sounds like a James Bond movie.
It
That's
does.
Like a fantasy novel.
It sounds like a rip-off James Bond movie.
Yes. All right. So
Sunfall and
our
time to cry.
groups are Mar and Jury going to explore. What location are you planning on going to first?
Probably the Mayor's Manor, since that's what we're doing first.
Okay. All right. The Mayor's Manor. And then, Kaimana, are you going with Abel and Soros? Can Kaimana hear me?
You can go wherever
Oh, okay.
you please.
You're going with Abel and Soros, Kaimana? Okay. Or are you going with Jury and Mar?
No, I'm going with Abel and Source.
Sounds good. All right. So you all kind of leave the park your separate ways. Soros and Abel going out the north side to head off towards the mines, and then Marlo and Kaimana Kaimana with Abel and Soros, and then Jury and Marlo heading down the south side to loop around to the Mayor's Manor. All right. So we'll start with Abel and Soros. So I need. Are you moving through the streets stealthily, or are you just trying to not attract?
No,
attention?
I am chutzpah. I am not disguised,
Okay.
full right rat, and I am walking down the middle of the street.
Are you leaving
Like,
your
I am-
clothes?
I am normal Saurus, and
Okay.
I am a rat on a mission.
All right.
I have purpose, and I am supposed to be there.
All right. So you're making your way through. So you
I'll
want.
hang back and just kind of keep an eye out.
Okay. Make a perception check then, Abel, as you're watching. Yep.
We need
And
that
Kaimana, are you with me or are you with Abel?
I'm with you.
Now,
Okay.
Kaimana, are you staying Kaimana, or are you going cat or donkey? Which has been like.
I would. Source, what do you think I should do?
I think you can stay as yourself.
Okay, then that's what I'm going to do.
Be proud of who you
Okay.
are.
All right. So you guys make your way up through the Rambles area, which is the workers' class space, and you don't encounter any guards or anything. But then once you start getting into the more proper zones of Feldspar, you do start seeing wandering bands of Tidewarders. No scaled fold at this point, and they don't seem at this hour of the day. They're not. They seem to be focused on work and hushed conversations. And they do get a couple looks out of the corner of your eye, but there are other townspeople walking around. But once you get into the central region near the mines, leading up to the mines, you do start seeing some of the Draconan Skeldfold leadership as well as Tidewarders there. And a couple guards do stop you and kind of wave you over as you're walking up.
And I rolled a 15 on perception.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm sorry, you're supposed to be at the shipyards.
Was just looking for my brothers, so thank you for that information.
Oh, that's where they are. It's very unlike you all to be separated. Is something wrong?
No, I've been sent in with additional orders.
Okay, make a deception check.
Oh my god, I should have gone with you. Now you're gonna try to talk to people.
That's a natural 15,
Okay.
so that's a 16 total.
Okay. Well then, make your way quickly. They're finalizing the Quicksilver shipment, and they need all hands on deck. And you as well, little one. Your captain's probably looking for you. And he waves
Yeah.
you. He waves you through and allows you to pass by. And you aren't quite sure where the shipyards are, but you make your way.
I asked them what the quickest way to get there from here is, since I am new to town.
Well, you go down this road and then take a northern path on the next avenue. They are near the silos for the Quicksilver.
Thank you.
So you cut through. Abel, as you're walking by a moment later, they kind of eye you, but then let's see. Nope. Not with that intelligence roll. They let you pass by. And so eventually you guys make your way. And the first thing you notice is the 3 large silos. They're probably 3 stories tall, so about 30 feet. Not super big around, but probably 15 feet across. And next to them on a makeshift platform, you see a skyship tethered there. Very different than the Nuavian style skyship you guys fly on. This one, it looks much more like a galley boat. Has sails with a mast, but it also has the furling sails on the side. And you can see the engine at the back of the ship. This one not powered by Zephyrsite crystals, but powered by Quicksilver, so it has a Quicksilver engine at the back of the ship, currently docked and not powered. And there's a flurry of activity as there are carts being taken from the silos and taken over to a loading area with a makeshift crane that's lifting them up and putting them into the berth of the ship. Go ahead and make a perception check, Source.
Perception 16.
16. So among the many people, which looks to be mostly townspeople that you see kind of going back and forth, there is you see a few white figures off in the distance kind of running up and down on the kind of the walkway going up to the ship, and then there's a couple on the ground level that are also ferrying things back and forth. There's one who's kind of standing off to the side and maybe is giving directions or orders.
I will head for him.
Okay. So you make your way up and yep. So as you're approaching, there's an Otterkin figure up on the railing of the ship, and the moment he sees Kaimana walking up, he yells out, "Oi, you little one! What are you doing scorning from your work? Get back up here!"
Oh, okay.
And you see this this taller than Kaimana, brawny Otterkin figure with one eye, and he's kind of directing things, and so he's motioning for Kaimana to get up onto the ship.
Okay.
When you get up there, he's like, "What are you, the scullery worker? Is that right?"
Sure.
Make a deception check, Kaimana.
I'm here to take tickets, actually.
Take tickets.
I'm here to kick ass and take tickets. You don't seem to have any tickets.
I never have any.
19.
Nice. He says, old Bittersroot's down there trying to cook up something a storm. He needs some hands in the galley. Go. Get to it.
Okay.
And
I'll go do that.
Okay, so Kaimana disappears off down into the berth of into the ship, and then as Saurus, you approach the white rat there, who turns and looks at you, and then looks back at the other rats. Who are you?
Report.
Who are you?
Who are you?
You first.
Very well. I am your progenitor. Who are you?
My name's Beaker.
Hello, Beaker. Tell me what's going on.
We're loading the ship.
By choice or by order?
We were told to load the ship.
Who told you?
He did, of course.
Have you talked to him lately?
He kind of looks uncomfortably around. Make a persuasion check.
I don't.
He backs away for a moment, like almost
That's a 9.
like he's seeing a ghost. Well, let's see. I'll roll off against his own fear. Okay. He's looking at you almost like he's seeing a ghost of something.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the other rats who's up on the walkway up on top kind of stops and like looks down. Beaker, who is that? And Beaker kind of looks back up and says, I'm not quite sure.
I'm assuming they're communicating in some kind of rat speak.
No, they're
similar
speaking
to-
common.
Oh, okay, they're not speaking in like high-pitched squeaks similar to...
No, no, they're speaking common, just like Saurus. For a moment, Beaker kind of looks at you and he says, "What do you mean? What is this word, progenitor?"
I was the first of us.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
I bet you they have like folklore about
Nat 20.
Oh.
24.
Okay, so he kind of stops and he looks up. He says, "Alembic, keep them organized." And the one at the top nods, and Beaker looks around for a moment, and then he darts off to the side into an alleyway.
I follow.
Okay, so you follow behind him, and when he's kind of stopped there in front of you, and he turns around and he says, "You're supposed to be dead."
Clearly, I'm not.
He said that the same thing that happened to you would happen to all of us.
In that case, I hope he was right, because what happened to me was freedom.
How did you escape? He's always watching.
I was in a different location, but I left. I snuck out. I waited for an opportunity. Because he couldn't watch all the time.
I'm not so sure. And he kind of snaps his fingers and he looks up and you see like the whites of his eyes go, or his eyes go completely white. And he's like looking around.
Mhm.
You should run. And he points. And you can't see what he's looking at, but there's something that he's seeing. He knows you're here.
Maybe we'll chat.
We stay in the rambles, in the back alley behind the butcher, a small shack. But he's always watching.
Does he have some kind of monitor on you? Some medallion that you're forced to wear?
First time you kind of notice he kind of pulls his shirt a little bit, and there's a low collar around his neck, and it has a single medallion at its center. We all do.
Well, then
He kind
all
of
we have to
reaches out and touches your clavicle area.
Mhm.
You have one too.
God. No.
We have to fix that immediately.
That would explain some things. I will talk to you later.
Beaker.
And I.
Can I roll to see if anyone saw
Mhm.
Saurus and Beaker?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Anyone noticed? If like any of the guards or the otter.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. Yeah. Were you kind of staying in the back, the alley, watching all of this, like further away?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
trying to keep an eye on them when they went off, and also just kind of surveying to see if anyone took notice of them. Oh, well, I didn't see shit.
You got distracted. Like,
Nope. I was
Distracted.
thinking all the things that can be done with that cool Quicksilver. That's being
All right. Yeah. All right, come on up. You make your way downstairs, and as you're walking, you do see at the forecastle of the ship, not forecastle, whatever, the where the captain's wheel is on the ship. You see behind the wheel this tall otterkin figure, probably one of the taller Otterkin that you've seen, and wearing an eye patch, ripped musculature underneath his fur, and he has like an anchor at his side that's almost half his height that he just kind of carries there, and he's wearing a jaunty hat off to the side, and he's just keeping an eye over the ship. And you have vague stories of Captain Kit that are kind of told in hushed whispers among the children in your hometown, and this is Captain Kit, which probably is a distant relative of yours down the line somewhere.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to impersonate this guy. There's a bit of a difference between me.
Well, so you don't know how their disguise kit works. He's about a foot taller than you, but yeah. And then you
There's a big difference.
Yeah. And there's people coming in and out of the ship at the bottom. They're loading. They've kind of lifted off boards from the deck, and they're lowering barrels of quicksilver in on these large pallets into the ship, into the belly of the ship, but you make the hold. You make your way back into the back area, and you go down a few steps, and then the smell of something cooking does reach your nose, reach your ears.
Really
cooking.
Yeah, reaches your ears, and you make your way into the galley, and in the galley you see a tall dwarven figure with one leg, and he's kind of got a crutch, and he's kind of hacking at things with one arm, and he's just kind of cursing because he's trying to do this on his own, and he sees you over there, and he's like, "Who the hell are you?"
I'm Reggie. They told me to help.
Reggie. Well, whatever happened to the other one?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I need these onions chopped. Go ahead and get to it.
All right, now I'm going to go chop the onions.
Okay, you go and chop the onions. And then as you're chopping, he's like tossing you some other things or whatever. And you can see he's just taking whatever you're doing and like tossing it into a big pot that's sitting over a magically induced fire. And then he throws you some potatoes when you get done with the onions, and then some carrots, and he's just tossing you some things, and then just like, just put it all in there when you're done with it.
Yes, chef.
Oh, that's so polite. The last one was an asshole, so it's nice to see that there's some of you auto that know your manners. Go ahead and stir this for a minute. I'm gonna take a smoke out back. He hands you this very large ladle to stir the soup.
Do I have a stool, or am I going to have to stand on the stove?
There's a countertop next to the stovetop that you could stir on it.
I'm gonna Remy the rat this shit.
Yeah, and then he kind of like he rolls himself up some loose tobacco, and then he goes out the back away, and you're kind of there alone without any observation in the galley stirring this soup.
Is the stew gonna burn if I leave it alone?
No, it's kind of on like a low simmer.
Okay, yeah. I'll cover it.
Okay.
Like tap off the spoon, clean the work surface.
Okay.
And then sneak off into the ship.
You're going deeper into the ship? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going stealthily?
I am stealthing.
All right. Go ahead and make a stealth roll.
20.
All right. So you kind of go through. Wow, that was really bad. You go through the ship area, and you do notice like there's kind of a path off to the left that goes to a side ship balcony, and you can see Bittersroot, the chef there smoking, and this kind of looks out over the work that's being done with the loading of the quicksilver, and then there's a path that goes off to the right, and then there's a set of stairs that go down further into the ship.
go down those.
Okay, so you go down the stairs. You first arrive on a mid deck where you see this is kind of a half deck, and you see lines of cannons on either side. A total of 16 cannons, 8 on either side. And packing powder and cannonballs there ready to be loaded. And then across the way you see another set of stairs that are going down, and this half deck section kind of has a wall cut out in the middle, which you assume is the path that goes down into the berth, or not the berth, the hold. But around the other side you see another set of stairs going further down.
Okay. Is there anybody on the gun deck?
There is nobody on the gun deck currently.
Okay. I would like to go around to every single one of the cannons, all 16 of them, and I would like to pour water down the touch holes.
Okay, and you are using what's your water source?
I have a cantrip that would probably be fine.
Oh yeah.
You could jet
Crate
too,
water.
right?
Or alchemy jug or crate
Pour
water.
mayonnaise down them.
I have shaped water, and
Shaped water,
I have a water skin. So
Sounds perfect. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So go ahead and, just for the purposes of seeing how quickly you can do this, go ahead and make a dexterity check. But you can add, in addition to your dexterity, add your wisdom because you chose to use a spell. So
Okay.
D20 plus dex and wisdom.
All right, so I'll just roll a d20, and then that'll be plus 11.
Nice.
You're making me so nervous.
22.
22. So you're carefully making your way through, and you're pouring water down in each of you make it down the left side. As you get to the end of the left side, and you're making the kind of around that central column structure that is the entrance or where they can lower things down into the hold, you hear footsteps coming down the steps that you came down to enter into this space.
I hide.
Okay, go ahead and make another stealth check.
$14.
Okay. So you find there's a stack of but a neatly stacked pile of balls next to some gunpowder stores, and you jump behind them.
Easy, Jace.
Yes, easy.
Both are horrible.
You jump behind them, and
He corrected himself from saying loose, and it got me going.
loose balls. And then,
You don't want them swinging or rolling
Yeah, there you
around,
go.
you know?
Sorry, everybody. This is a really tense moment. Go back.
And then you slide behind them, and there's a very small space that you can fit between the wall and the kind of this bundle of things, these bundle of balls and gunpowder, and you hear this sound of footsteps as they come down the right hand side of the deck, and then they get to right where you are next to the stairs, and you hear fucking hell, they've got us running wild, don't they? I guess nobody's down here. I can take a quick rest, breather. And then you don't hear any more footsteps. And then a few moments later, you hear as he has apparently gone to sleep.
I'm going to peek out. Who is it?
Okay, you just see a nondescript sailor, tie border, wearing pirate-like garb, and he's kind of curled up against the wall, hidden from that back staircase that you came down. He's hidden from them, and he's kind of curled up there taking a nap.
Okay. I'm going to go finish I guess I did the port side. I'm going to do the starboard side now.
Okay, with this a new addition, go ahead and make another stealth check.
Okay. 9.
Okay, he has disadvantage because he is asleep. Okay, so you start making your way down through, and you're taking off the caps and pouring them in and then replacing them carefully. And there's a moment where you get to the third or fourth of 8. And as you're going, you kind of like you're reaching up a little bit because they're a little taller than you are. And you're reaching up a little bit and trying to pour. And you step on something that slides out from underneath you, and you realize that there was a loose cannonball that was on the ground there, and you had thought it was like something you could perch on, but it slides out away from you and begins rolling down the ship deck, hitting the back wall, and then finding its way over to the staircase, and then down the stairs. And the guy at the back jumps up. He's like, "What the hell was that?" And he turns around and he sees you. What the hell are you doing?
I was supposed to clean up the gun deck.
We don't have any of your cleaning materials. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, that was just sitting there and it was too heavy.
Make a deception check.
Oh my god.
Come on up.
Come on, it's our pirate ship cleaning day.
15.
15. Okay, well, thanks to this too. He's not a smart pirate. He kind of...
He's more worried about him getting busted than...
He says, "Could you do it a little quieter? And don't tell anybody you saw me down here."
Well, where should I put that one?
Well, it's down in the hold now.
Just leave it?
Hopefully it didn't hit anybody on its way down.
Oh, I better go check.
Well, you didn't see me.
Nope, definitely not.
He kind of goes back and curls up, but he watches you for a moment before he kind of curls back up into his spot.
All right, yeah, I run down to the next.
Okay,
to the next
so you make your way down, and then it just opens up into a very long, the full length of the ship, the belly of the ship, and you see probably like 3/4 of the ship is just stacked from base to deck level with these barrels of quicksilver. And quicksilver barrels are about 2 feet tall and about 2 feet 2 feet diameter, so they're not huge, a little bit bigger than gunpowder barrels, but they're stacked up here in large pallets. And you just see another one kind of being lowered in a crane at the center, and then there's a group of workers kind of taking them off the crane and then stacking them off in the corners and filling up from the outside in towards the center.
Okay, I find the cannonball and I bring it back up.
Okay, make a perception check to see if you can spot it.
13.
Yep. Okay. So, kind of as you're looking around off to the side against one of the stacks of quicksilver, you see where the cannonball has smacked into the side of one of the barrels, and it's dented it a little bit, and you can just see the faintest trickle of this silvery metallic liquid. But you grab the cannonball. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it and get it out of there.
Okay, it's about a 5-pounder, so you lift it up and you carry it back upstairs, and neatly stack it.
And then I will leave the gun deck.
Okay. Do you finish off the last 4 guns before you leave?
Is there like a rag anywhere?
Yeah. There's. Let me make a perception check again.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna hunt down some cleaning implements and actually make it look like I'm like sweeping dust off of the gun breeches before I like sabotage them.
Okay.
So perception, you said?
Yeah.
14.
It takes you a little bit, but you do find, like, kind of tucked into a corner somewhere, there's a small bucket with some very foul smelling water in it, and there's a couple rags around it, and a large heavy bristled comb like brush that people would use to scrub the deck.
Yeah, I get to work a swabbing, and then I'll make sure that I'm like facing the guy who's asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only gonna try to pour water in there if I'm sure he's not looking at me.
Yeah, he's gone back to sleep. So you get through the last 4, and you have sabotaged all 8.
all 16.
The 16, sorry, yeah. So 8 on this side, yeah, and then the other 8, yep.
Okay,
All right.
cool. I'm going to hold on to the cleaning implements,
Okay.
and because they're a great excuse, and I'm going to try to find my way to Captain Kit's cabin.
Okay, all right. So you make your way back upstairs onto the deck. You look to the right. Bitter's route is not on the balcony, and the only other path either out and then up out of the galley space, or to your left.
Go to my left.
Okay, you head to your left, and let's see if anybody's doing any patrolling.
I'm so nervous for
Okay.
you, little bunny girl.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you make your way around, and then on this side, there's a small little half step of stairs that goes up to a more ornate doorway.
No guards or anything. Just
No, yeah. There's
go.
there's patrols. I'm just rolling to see where the patrols are.
All right, I'm gonna go open the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock first.
All right, so you knock. Moment goes by. Another moment.
I'm gonna open the door and say, "Pardon me, sir."
It is locked.
Oh, okay.
You go to open it and it hits.
Okay. What is lockpicking? Sleight of hand?
It is, yeah. Yeah, with no proficiency addition.
With no proficiency, yeah. I'm gonna go find Bitterroot.
Okay, so you go back towards the galley, and Bitterroot's there stirring up the thing. He's like, "Hey, where the hell did you go? We need this delivery taken up to the captain." And he points to a steaming bowl next to the where he's cooking. Yeah.
I was cleaning the gun deck. One moment. Let me go put the supplies
What the hell are you doing cleaning up the gun deck?
Man told me to.
They've got you guys running around ragged, don't they?
That's what he said.
All right. Well, I'll take that on up to Captain Kidd. He doesn't like to be let waiting. He has to eat at a certain time, so he gets rather angry.
Yes, chef.
All right.
Where's he gonna be?
He's up on the main deck.
Yes, chef.
There's a little tray with a bowl of soup and a hunk of bread and a flagon of ale.
All right, so I'm going to carry it like above my head, so he can't actually see my face. Like,
Okay.
it's just like a tray, like walking around.
All right. So you make your way back upstairs onto the main deck, and then there's two staircases on either side behind you that go up to where Captain Kidd is. You go to the one on the left, make your way up, and
I am going to, like, on the first passageway up, like, I'm going to dig into my pack and take out any, like, rags or bits of clothing I have and cover, like, the more obvious things about my person.
okay. So you're kind of
I know
disguising yourself.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make just a sleight of hand check to see how well you are at disguising yourself.
It's a paper cutout mask. A paper plate mask. Oh no, it's a 21.
21. Okay, so you definitely kind of put together a ragged looking pirate outfit that covers up, your more definitive markings, and anything that has any of the symbols from home, especially.
Yeah.
And then you continue making your way up, and you get up there, and Captain Kidd is alone up on the main next to the wheel, and he kind of, you can't really see him because you're holding it up, hiding your face, but he looks down at you and just grunts. Well, it's about time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just set it there.
Yes, sir.
He kind of points. There's a stand, like a table next to him with some maps and things. You set them down, and he's not even looking at you. He's just kind of looking out across the whole ship. We've been away from the water for too long, haven't we?
Yes, sir. Do
Are you
you
ready?
want these? Do you want these maps just out? I don't want food to get on them. I can put them back in your cabin if you like.
He kind of looks at you. Make a persuasion check.
Oh, that's so genius.
20.
Oh my shit! God, y'all are killing it without.
I know your rolls. He kind of looks at you.
Mana is on fuego.
He's on fire. He kind of looks at you for a moment. That's quite an eager attempt there. They'll be all right. But you can take this, and he reaches back and he pulls out his jacket and puts it in your hands and a couple other things. He says, you can put those away for me.
Yes, sir.
Are you the new cabin boy?
Yes, sir.
Make a deception check.
Oh my god.
Come on up.
He has disadvantage on this, and I'll tell you why in a moment.
17.
17?
Because he doesn't know who's actually supposed to be his cabin
Okay.
boy.
So he kind of looks, and I rolled a 17, but then my disadvantage was a 5. He looks at you and goes, Mirabelle handled all of the staffing issues, and she didn't come to work today. You know anything about that?
No, sir.
Right. Well, you can put those things away. And he kind of takes a key off of a ring at his waist and hands it to you. Tell Bitterswood I don't want any more soup.
And you put soused hog's face, sir?
Anything but soup.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get this done and get back to the ocean, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And he kind of goes back to observing. He has no idea because his second in command, Mirabelle,
Met an unfortunate fate.
met an
So you
know
unfortunate fate.
nothing about
Oh
that.
my god, I was hoping it was the guy who's supposed to be in the kitchens and he just stuck too much food and
All right, so you now have a key and the captain's belongings.
All right, yeah. I'm going to go to the cabin and put the belongings away.
You have so you have the captain's jacket as well as just some other kind of loose garb. You get there, you unlock the door, open it, and it's a fairly large spaced cabin. There's a kind of a bed to the left, and then there's a back doorway that is open that opens up onto a back balcony at the back of the deck, and there's just some shelving and random things around in this space, and a large table at the center which has other maps and things spread out around it.
Does he have a wash basin?
Yeah, there's a large tub in the corner that could function as a wash basin. Yes.
Okay. Is there like soap near it, like a brick of soap?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I find these oddly specific questions interesting.
Yes, me too.
I was thinking,
Because
what is
I'm just waiting to see where it goes.
22.
22. Yeah, you find a brick of used
All right.
soap that has some fur attached to it.
So I take the bar of soap and I take the key and I put 2 impressions of the key, one on the top end and one on the back end. I put it in my pocket so I can give it to Abel to have him make a copy of the key later.
Okay.
Bloody brilliant.
And
Here,
I put the code away,
Okay.
and then I go around and I don't open any of the windows, but I unlatch one of them.
Okay. So you unlatch one of the back wall has a row of windows next to the door. So you find the one on the right, you unlatch it, and then
But I, not like open, just
No, and-
lift it up enough so that if you open
Yeah.
the window, but you can't tell
yeah.
quite from.
And
looking at it.
there's curtains that are hanging, so you push them to the side and unlatch it, and then pull the curtain back to kind of hide it. All right.
And I cleaned the cabin a little bit.
You straighten up the cabin. All right. Meanwhile, as all of this is going on with Soros and Kamana, we'll cut over to Jury and Marlo. So you've made your way through town, and you arrive at the far. What side of the town is this? The far eastern side of the town, and you see the stockade building there in front of you. It's not a huge structure, but it is walled, and you can see the roof of it sticking up through the walls. The walls are about 20 feet high, and there's a large gate at the center. And there are 5 guard out front that you can see. It's kind of standing in front of the gate. And then on the walkways or on the wall, you see a couple people with crossbows. The guards at the gate are all draconids. The humans are on the walkway.
What?
Well, doesn't look like we're going in the front that way.
That's gonna be rough.
Is it, I'm gonna disguise self. Is there any way, like, is there sides to this building, you know? This is all kind of like the front of it.
Yeah, as you're looking at it, it's a hexagonal shaped structure. And you're looking at one wall and then it kind of goes around and you can tell that it has a back, but one side of it intersects with the outer wall of Feldspar. And the back section is very, very close to the rock ridge coming out of the, like, kind of the back wall that it makes up the whole back wall of Feldspar is the rock ridge. So that might be the best place to check if you wanted to see if there were other entrances or places.
Yeah, I can get us to the other side if you want.
What?
Dimension door. Dimension
What?
door. The others. Yes. Well, we
You're
can't
just
get.
saying words. What does that mean?
It's a teleportation spell. I can't get us back with it yet. Is the only problem.
Okay.
It's kind of like a one-way thing, unless we want to try to. I mean, how high is this? Is the outer wall?
The outer wall is 20. So the walls of the stockade is 20 feet high. The outer wall of Feldspar is 40 feet high.
I mean,
I could make us invisible and we could try to climb it, and then we can boot back. If that's a better plan.
I get that. Sure.
I'm not good at climbing things.
Me neither.
Oh, this is gonna require too many spells, huh? I forgot neither of us are strong. My bad.
Wait! I have something for this, actually.
Okay.
No, I totally have something. I just have to, like, actually find it in my inventory. I'm so stuck. Okay, I hand you a piece of candy. And
I don't.
Finally!
yeah,
Yay!
and then I pull out one as well. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna be good at climbing for, like, a minute.
We're gonna eat candy and then be good at climbing.
Uh-huh.
You actually
What's
recognize the candy jury. It comes from the
look at it now.
confectionarium in Hightower.
Oh, good stuff. All right,
I got this specifically for this purpose.
Well, it's weird that it has a very specific use right at this moment, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I will cast. I'll cast invisibility on us at 3rd level.
Okay.
That way we can get over this wall.
All right. So you're both invisible. Go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage.
Oh God. Oh, the nat 20. Thank you.
Thank God. There you go. Marlo.
I got 24.
23 beat me on a nat 20.
Nice.
I rolled a 12.
All right,
So.
so y'all make your way around the outer edge of the wall, avoiding any of the guards at the front. And when you get to the back, the wall kind of curves around again, and it intersects with the back of the rock face there. And the easiest place to climb would actually be probably near the rock face, because you could climb the rock face and then hop over to the walkway itself. Go ahead and make a perception check, Marlo.
What are you? You're 14.
14?
Well, no, 19.
19. Okay, with a 19. On this side of the wall, you do see there is a sewer spout or a runoff spout about halfway up the wall that seems to be where all of the detritus from the wall itself is kind of pouring out and then coming out of the building. Probably wide enough for somebody to crawl through if you wanted to go that way, or you could go on the rock wall.
Sewer or wall?
You can't see Drew, but then make a face. I mean, sewer's probably safer. Whatever you want to do.
Basically a spider climbing right now, so you can kind of do whatever you want.
We ate the candy. Let's keep climbing.
Yeah, we might as well use it to the full advantage.
All right. So you climb up the wall with no issue. It's really weird. Like when you kind of reach out to grab the wall, it's almost as if like there's like Velcro or something that's kind of latching and then pulling you up. If you look very closely at your hands, you will have noticed that you sprouted small hairs on your hands. And you are climbing up the wall. And you get up to the top and kind of lift yourself up over. And there are two patrolling guards, both with bows. They're holding crossbows, but they have longbows strapped on their back. And they are kind of patrolling on either side. And they're kind of matching their patrols so that they are kind of constantly going in this way. They never come this far back on the wall, but they kind of go 3/4 of the way and then go back the other 3/4 of the way.
Can I, in watching them, can I get kind of a sense for, like, if there's any significant, like, pauses or how long they would be where it seems like it would be a good time to, like, get past in this, like, routine they've got going?
Yeah, so as you're watching them very carefully, you do notice that when they get to the outer range, they do not pause because that's when they're furthest apart from each other. So they kind of get there and then immediately head back. But when they get to the front where they're overseeing the gate, there is a moment where they stand there and kind of look out over the whole front section of the stockade. And they're probably there for a minute or so before they turn and then they make their way back again for their loop.
Okay.
Where is the entry point from the building from up here?
Okay, so looking into the courtyard of the wall, you see the main entrance to the stockade is directly in front of the main gate.
Okay, so it seems like the main gate's like the only way you get in from the front.
Well, so the main gate's to the wall, and then there's a courtyard, and then the building itself, and then the main doorway into the stockade seems to be right there.
What's the building made out of?
Brick.
Okay.
So
Or
in theory,
stone,
from like here, we could drop down into the courtyard and like go into the main.
Yep, it's a 20-foot drop.
Okay. Not that we're doing that.
Yeah.
But
For future, yeah. Cool. Ugh, I wish we could see inside. That'd be helpful.
I really hope this is like not where they're keeping the dragon also.
There are windows, but they're very small.
Can I try to... no, we couldn't see from this distance, could we?
See
Play
what?
in a window.
So the windows are, from where you are 20 feet, the windows are a little bit higher. They're about 25.
Mm-hmm.
The building itself is 30, and the windows ring the whole top bit. I mean, you could climb up to one. You still probably have about 30 seconds of climb left.
Yeah. Oh, give me that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you jump off the other side, run across the courtyard, and climb up to one of the windows and hold on and peer in. Go ahead and make a perception check.
17.
17. So looking in, you're looking into the upper part of a cell. And you look through, and there's a basic cell, bars, and then you can see beyond it a circular room. And you can kind of tell it's 3 levels from here, kind of almost like a panopticon style jail setting. And there's nobody in this cell that you're looking in. And when you look through, it's hard to see if there are people on the far opposite walls. But you can just see that the interior of this building is just 3 levels of cells and walkways on the outer parts of the cells.
Okay, when I'm watching this specific area, does it look like there's anybody passing through? Like, not just in the cells?
Yeah, on the far wall, like on the far walkways, there are a couple guards that are stationed. And there is a central tower piece that goes through the middle of the structure. That there is but it only goes about halfway up. And you see there are 3 guards that are standing on that central tower so they can see the whole inner portion.
It's gonna be tough.
You drop back down because you know you're out of time, and you run back up to where Jury is.
I do that, yeah.
Yep. About that time, your spider climb wears off. Because it's a minute, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I think
wrote
it's
it
a
down,
minute.
but I did get. I do remember that I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a
love it.
minute. That seems right. I don't think it was anything more than that.
Yes, because it's not as powerful as the actual spell. So yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
So it's 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm. All right.
Okay.
So how's it looking? Plausible?
Not with our group.
You are all, pardon my language, but loud as fuck half the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people to get through.
Hmm.
And that's getting in. I can, I can only make so much chloroform. So, I don't know. I can make a bunch of them, but I don't know if I'd have enough.
Are you sure you don't want to be in Vox Populi? You seem to have like all
I
the
know.
skills.
Do you remember the conversation we had like 10 minutes ago where it was like
I know,
actually
it
really
seemed-
uncomfortable?
It seemed really bad, but like,
And
it's
it
not all
was.
bad.
Yeah, all right.
I assume you were all whispering.
Yeah, we're like whispering
Okay.
to each
We're
other.
yelling about Vox Populi.
Yeah.
Well, Mar probably was like, "I'm going," and then I was like, because I can't see you.
can't see what
so
you're
you,
doing, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you booped away, and then I was
Uh,
like, "What?" You came back and you were like, "Jerry, where are you?"
I think we're good here.
Okay. How do we get back down with no suction
You're the
cup?
one who was like, I have the cool spell.
Well, I can only use it once a day, so if we're coming back,
Oh.
I mean, we could try to fly down, but we'd drop invisibility.
Well.
And people would see us. But
mhm.
I can use it. It's just, this would be a very useful spell for infiltrating or getting us out.
No, save it. We can do something.
We can do something.
How long is this drop again, John?
20 feet.
Oh, that's not that bad.
No.
Okay.
mhm.
I just don't want anyone to see us when we drop invisibility.
Okay. I have an idea. I pull out different candy. I'm pulling out the gobstoppers,
Okay.
which is guidance for 1 minute.
Yes.
I'm gonna go. This might help it not go as badly as it could.
Okay.
Oh my god.
This
So-
seems great. I eat it and I go.
Well, so the way the gobstopper works is you have guidance as long as you're sucking on it,
Oh,
so
you
you can
have
suck
it
on
in
it for a
your
minute.
mouth?
Yep.
Amazing. Okay, yeah. Then I put it in my mouth and go.
All right, so you go back over towards the rock wall, and you're gonna kind of try to shimmy your way safely down.
Yeah.
Marlo, make an acrobatics check. Jordan, make an athletics check.
Oh no.
Well, you
That's
get advantage.
worse.
But it's not advantage. You add a D4 to the roll.
You add a D4. That's right. I
I got-
forgot how diamonds works.
Somehow I got a 19. Against all odds.
Amazing.
Against all odds, I got 19. That's without the +4. I don't think you gave me candy, but I just rolled really well.
28.
Okay. Yeah, there's no way to avoid the fact that this is a fall. This is like just how careful you are to
understandable.
fall.
No,
All right.
no, I understand the consequences of what I've done here.
But you both succeeded on the DC, so you only take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of scree down the wall a little bit, but there's a point where it just kind of kicks you off and you fall the last 10 feet. And it's a hard landing, and you know you're going to feel that in your shins tomorrow, but
Can I
not too
make a
bad.
perception check to see if anybody heard that?
Yes, you can.
18.
18. You're looking, and you do notice that the crossbowman on this side of the wall kind of comes back, and he stops, and he's looking out over the wall in this direction like he heard something.
Okay. I'm gonna reach out and try to find Jury's hand and then pull them away from this.
All right, so you guys make your way, because the stockade kind of sits probably 30 or 40 feet isolated from every other building around it. So you just cross the street and disappear into an alleyway, and you feel that you are safely away from the interactions there.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good. Do you want to check out Maya's house next? Maybe, or we just leave that one?
I mean, we could go see it really quick.
Yeah, let's look at it.
An hour or so. I mean, this probably took what, like 30 minutes?
Probably took
I don't
about
know.
25 minutes to walk there, and then this has been 10 or 15 minutes of scoping it out, and then the last 5 minutes or so. So you guys have been here maybe about an hour. Yeah.
Okay, so we're like rounding out our invisibility.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can cast it on us again if you want.
All right.
Unless we get too close to people again, I'd hold off.
Okay. So you guys start making your way back through town towards the mayor's abode, which is on the other side. It's probably about 35-minute walk, and then we cut back over to Source, Kaimana, and Abel. So, Kaimana, what have you done after you've cleaned up the captain's quarters? Yep,
You're muted.
I take his key back to him.
Okay, you take his key back
Yeah,
to him.
I don't take anything. I like close it up, lock the door, take his key back, but I keep the soap in my pocket.
All right. So you make your way back up onto the deck and then up to the captain. And he's still just watching everything, and he kind of puts out a paw, and you place the key in his paw, and he puts it back, and he says, "Good work."
Yes, sir. Anything else, sir? Aside from no soup?
We're good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'll run back down to the galley.
Okay. So Bitter's there, and he's kind of still stirring the soup and getting ready for the preparations of serving the rest of the staff, or the crew.
Captain says he's done with soup.
Like the soup that I just served him.
Well, no. He said the next meal he wants to be anything other than soup.
Anything other than soup. Well, maybe if he wanted something other than soup, then he should have stocked the larders with things that I could do other than soup. Don't sell him, I said that.
Should I go get some?
I don't think... I don't know where the stores are. You'd have to go into town and take them from some of the folk there.
I think I can manage that.
All right, I guess go see if there's any fresh fish in this godforsaken place.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Because they're otters.
And they never heard from him again.
All right, and so he sends you off to exit the ship to go and retrieve fish.
All right. Abel's near the boat, right?
Yeah, you as you come down off the steps from that goes up to the boat, you kind of are looking around, and you go and make a perception check. We'll see how stealthy Abel was being. Abel will make a stealth check.
Sure. That's a thing that I can do.
14.
Straight up 3.
Oh
Second 3.
So you the moment you come off of the steps, you turn around and you see what you think is Abel trying to hide behind like a stack of boxes or something, but there's just baubles and beads and white cloth in an alleyway, and you do see Abel across the way there.
Okay. I don't want to beeline directly for him. I'm gonna like a roundabout way to that alley.
Okay, so you kind of go up a road a little bit and then cut across and then come down another road, and then you're walking up behind Abel, who is not exactly aware of your presence.
I got a passive. Well, that's investigation.
Yes,
Passive.
but you did make a perception check earlier that was like a 7. So
Abel.
It was like a.
Abel.
Come on. You scared. I was scared shitless. I'm not in my hiding space, trying to see if I could find or get a glimpse of you. You went on the ship by yourself. I thought they captured you.
No, it's fine. Abel, I need you to make a key.
A key.
Yes.
A key to what?
This key, and I'll hold out the bar of soap with the impression on it.
Oh, what does this key go to?
The captain's cabin.
Okay. Let's see. Probably not best to do it here. If we could get back to our room, probably with my tools. Make a duplicate of the key. Yeah.
I think it might be best if I stay with the ship for now.
Are you sure that's safe?
Well, if I leave and I don't come back, they're gonna maybe think something's up.
Okay. Do you think you could hide Anansi in your clothes, and if there's any danger, he could contact me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Tell Anansi to stick with Kaimana. Maybe hide in his loincloth or something.
No.
Kaimana, so
I have
They're in your pocket, or are you just happy to see
I
them?
have a backpack.
Anansi climbs into your backpack.
Like under the hat. He's like, "Notice that the hat is Nazi
If a spider could look like off-put by the suggestion, Anansi would
I've
be
been
off.
seeing Anansi
Hey,
like
come
looking
on,
over
I have a
at
question. Did
Abel.
you bring your staff on board that ship? I just got a real big question. You have your staff with the Tide Pod hanging around on the Tide Pod ship?
He just did all of that with it. He just did all of
He
that.
did cover.
I rolled a 22 to disguise it.
Yeah, he did disguise it. Yeah.
This kid. Well, we were with him for like what, a couple weeks, and we didn't realize what it was. So.
They might be more
I'm sure the
perceptive.
people who've committed their whole lives for finding it definitely don't know better than us.
Look,
Okay.
there's like 4 pirates, and they only have like 6 eyes. Like-
Out of the 4 of them, only 6 hours.
Hey, someone I can get in a staring match with.
Yeah. They were all very focused on their work, as far as you could tell, Kaimana. All right.
Okay, so I'll keep Anansi with you. If you need something from him, just tell him. He can understand you. He just can't communicate with you. So if you need a hand, or if you're in danger, he can contact me immediately, okay?
okay.
All right. Kaimana, do you go in search of fish?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go off in search of the market and for fish. Soris, after you leave Beaker, where did you go from there?
I am just going to go randomly through the city.
Okay.
Because if something is watching me or did see me and is following me, so what I'm doing is doing this wander is to try and figure out if I'm being tailed.
Okay. Are you stealthily making your way through the city, or are you just kind of purposefully?
I am going to be purposeful at first, and then I will stealth when I get the opportunity down some dark alleyways or someplace where it looks like I can actually potentially hide. Like if there's sewer grates or something like that, or I can get a couple of different outs if I need. And also if I have to shoot someone where I'm not necessarily going to get instantly jumped by the city guard.
Yeah. All right. So you make your way out, and you're carefully walking, not to draw too much attention to yourself. But then a few moments later, you're able to kind of duck into an alleyway, kind of out of the way of sight. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Oh, the sleepy girl.
That is a 4 + 8, so 12.
12. Okay. So you kind of disappear into the alleyway, and you're walking for a bit, and then you kind of pause to look to see if anybody follows you. And there's a moment where you see a figure walking down the road, and then they kind of stop, and then they keep walking along the road
What
past
can
the
I
alleyway.
perceive about this person?
Make a perception check.
Perception. It's 5. That is a 15.
Just looks like one of the Tide Warder guards that you've seen patrolling the city and other places.
I am going to stealth after him.
Okay, so you kind of follow up behind him, and he continues walking straight through. I am rolling shit perceptions all night tonight, and he kind of keeps walking through, and then he takes a left on the next major road, and you kind of tail behind him to the corner, and then you watch him for a minute, and then kind of follow along behind again, and then finally there's a moment where he gets to a house, and he walks up to the house and like looks around for a moment, and then he knocks on the door, and then you can't hear what he says, but he whispers something, and then he goes into the door.
Okay, I am going to not get close to the house, but see if I can go back around, like if there's a back alleyway or something like that where I can get either behind it, or if that's not possible, go roof. Still daylight, so rooftop jumping would probably be too obvious. So let me see if I can find a back way into it. If
Okay.
not, at least mark down where it is so that I can come back to visit later when it's dark.
Okay, so there's a couple side streets, and you go down, and you do find an alleyway that runs behind that front set of houses. And you make your way down and kind of count the number of houses that you know it is, and you get to the back of this house. It's only a one-story structure. There is a window here on the back alley.
I am going to use the hat of disguise to dress me like the guy that I was following.
Okay.
Is the window locked?
So you kind of reach up. The window itself is it's kind of a slide mechanism, and it is either locked or is just like old and jammed shut.
Is there a back door or anything like that?
There's no back door on the alley. You do notice that there is like kind of as you're doing this, you can kind of notice movement coming from inside the house. If you want to take a closer look at what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'll look/listen.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
No, that's a nat 1.
Okay.
So that's a total of yes.
So it's difficult for you to hear what's happening, but you do see the man that you were tailing and a fairly beautiful woman making out.
Okay. So is he following me or just pure happenstance and confused the thing? Don't know. Either way, voyeurism's not my thing.
I was gonna say, how long the
Source
walk?
is going through this whole conversation.
Well, lip mashing is an oddity in the wild.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
All right.
thank you, Bloom County, for that quote.
All right. And where do you go from there, Sark?
I'm going to stealth back to our beginning point.
Erogenes Drought or the park.
Erogenes Drought.
All right. Go ahead and make a stealth check for your journey.
And I am dressed as the guard.
Yes.
So, and I rolled a 17 plus
Okay.
stealth, so that's 25.
All right. So without issue, you managed to make your way back. There's a few patrols, but you managed to pause in the right spots and go past them. As I rolled my very first very nice perception check, and then you rolled a 24. So, but you make your way back to Rajni's Drought, and you,
Well, that's because I'm disguised.
yeah, and you're the first one to arrive back. Marlo and Sheridan, what do you all do?
We're gonna go look at the mayor's house.
All right. So you make your way back. The mayor's house is near the mine. It's kind of on the opposite side of the mine from where the shipyard is. And the patrols are much kind of heavier here. There's more Tidewater Syndicate patrols in this area, as well as the scaled fold around the mine. Are you guys being stealthy? Or
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make stealth checks.
Yeah, 17.
25.
Okay. Nope. All right. So you back to the bad rolls.
They're all drunk.
Well, I don't know. What is it with guards in this game? I don't
Sorry.
understand. So you make your way through, and there's a couple times where patrols do see you, but they just kind of glance at you and then keep moving as you just kind of look like regular people about your business. And eventually you get to the large, there's a large garden square in front of the mayor's house. And this section, there is a larger contingent of guards kind of wandering around in this space. But as it's getting closer to sunset, you see that a few of them are kind of breaking off and they're leaving. And as you're sitting here watching for a few moments, eventually that whole garden section where the guards were leave. And you just see the mayor's mansion, which is a 2-story structure with large columns in the front. And the back of it is kind of, there's a wall going around the back of the house, but you can tell that it's open air at the back. But then there's just this large, beautiful white marble structure there.
Windows on the first floor?
There's windows, there's like on the front, there's 2 windows on the front on either side of the door, and then there's 3 windows on the top. And then on the sides, you can tell that there's fairly spaced windows for natural light on the outside as well.
Cool.
It's a nice house.
It's a nice house.
It's a shame.
If someone broke into it.
Well,
Less windows by
it's
the end of it.
probably what the owner wants.
I think wrecking a nice house is kind of fun.
I love wrecking nice houses.
This is why we get along more.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you want to look at?
As you guys are sitting and watching, you do see a figure walking up. He's coming from the direction of the shipyard. A tall human male figure, darker skinned, and like a braided hair that comes down into like a bunch at the back of his neck. And he has a sword at his side and a scabbard, and very fine armor. And he kind of is walking around. And then he gets to the front entrance and kind of looks out at everything. And then for a moment he stands there, and then he opens the door and he just stands with the door open behind him for a moment. And then kind of turns. And then he goes into the room and closes the door behind him.
Oh.
Intrigue.
Did he have any insignias on him that we would recognize as like Scaled Fold or Tidewater or anything?
Yeah, from where you guys are standing, you could see that he had a pin holding his cloak on his chest, and it was the Tidewater symbol that you're accustomed to seeing on other people.
That guy looked like trouble.
Why would he have held the door like that? What was he doing?
I can't tell. It could mean that there's some kind of spell on the entranceway. He didn't like unlock it or anything, right? He just went in.
Yeah, he just opened it and went in.
Yeah, there's probably something trapped there.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe he gave a signal and someone was disarming it so he could pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be my best guess.
Hopefully they don't have that on Windows and stuff. But who knows? I mean...
yeah.
Only one way to find out.
Oh god. I don't like it when anyone in your group says that.
I mean...
It's never good.
I've never had a heist mission go wrong when I've been found out. I've been found out on every heist mission.
You've been
But they
found
always
out on
succeed.
every heist, Mar. You're like the most capable one of them. What do you mean? You've always been found out.
To be fair, the last one wasn't my fault, okay?
Whose
I
fault
just
was it?
also was there when we were found out. And we...
Was it Abel's fault? You can tell me if it was his
People
fault.
wasn't even there. I did a heist
Well, that
on
was
my
probably
own.
the best decision you had.
What?
Abel's not here to defend himself.
You rolled a
He's
3
so
on your
jingly,
stealth,
you know? It's like you can just hear him coming from like a minute away because you just hear the clinging.
It's like a
little
junk
bell.
drawer
I mean,
with legs.
It's nice, but not for like trying to lay
Pile it
low.
on.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we just need to get him some mufflers on it, you know?
Some more common clothes
Yeah.
for street wear.
I thought Mars' excuse for like, I've never had a heist go wrong that I was a part of, I thought it was gonna be like, this is my first heist.
Should we go back now. I'm not here to see Yorian after that fight. But...
Oh yeah. Are you good? Do you want me to run defense?
How are you
Just
gonna
like-
tackle him? No, it's fine.
No, I wasn't gonna beat him up. I just more meant like, you know, if he comes and talks to you, I can be like, Yorian, over here, I want to talk about rogue shit. I don't know. I mean,
It's fine. I just didn't mean for it to get personal. And I don't know. It's all tangled up.
yeah,
No, we'll just go back and I just will ignore him. Like I've been
that sounds
doing,
solid. I
and
love
it
that plan.
Be fine. It will be fine.
It
I
will
can't-
be.
I
Yes.
can't wait for y'all's reaction when you find out Kaimana stayed on the fucking ship.
It's not gonna be fun for me.
All right. Yeah, I think we head back.
All right. So you all make your way back to Rajani's Drought. Abel, after Kaimana left you, what did you do?
I probably saw Sordis start to wander off. I think I would have been smart enough to know that he was trying to be a bit evasive. So I stuck around just to see if I can get eyes on Kaimana. Now that I know his plan, I'm going to stealthily.
Just say walk.
I'm going to jingle my
walk.
way back.
Jingle, jingle. Jingle, jangle. All right. Make a
Back
stealth
to the
check.
Areola Ace
Oh my
Oasis.
god. I literally what I said to you was please use something to make your stealth better.
I can be invisible though.
You That's literally what I told you.
I just don't want to use my spells.
I know.
What's that sound? Is someone like flush a bunch of coins into the sword?
Wait, let me check. I think last time I used. Has this been a new day?
Yes. You guys
Did I
haven't. You
use-
guys just went to the park after you woke up.
Invisibility doesn't do anything when you sound like a walking wind chime collection.
Although you might have used invisibility because you guys were in the park invisible for a while.
Let me see if I marked it off.
I think you and Soros were invisible because I remember specifically the image of
Yeah, but I think I
Shuri
used it from
yelling
that.
At nobody.
his axe to no one.
I think I used it from that.
Yeah. To the spell
Gem that
ring,
you
yeah.
brought me more?
That's did, yeah.
And I was trying to remember if I had any charges in that or not, but I don't think I
I
did.
think you had one more.
And I think that was the last.
Oh, that
I
was the
think I
last one.
used it.
Okay.
I'm like 99% sure. That's why I didn't mark invisibility off on my thing. Okay, I'm just gonna try to make my way back
Stealthily or just normally?
stealthily.
All right, make a stealth check.
Relatively speaking.
And when I get there, I'm gonna just brag so much to Jury, mostly Marlo, about how stealthy I was just from watching her. I've increased my stealth. Okay, an 11. An 11.
That is an improvement.
That is an
Double
improvement.
digits.
That is. So you make your way back. There is a moment, Abel, when as you're kind of wandering, you make your way through the city, that you see a large winged creature.
Winged creature?
Winged flying
Wings. Is that
wings
Wyvern.
Okay.
flying from the far western side of town, which you
You're gonna
guys
make me
haven't.
fight a winged creature by myself.
The far western side of town, which you guys have not explored, but based on the map that you received from Feldspar, you know is the location of the temple and where the Scaled Fold has kind of set up shop. You see it kind of flying off over town, and there's it's flying past, and you kind of duck into the side for a moment. And you're looking and you see there's a rider on top of this creature. And for a moment it kind of keeps going by, but then it swings back around and flies overhead. And then it circles again.
Oh no.
Okay.
And then it... What you're going to do?
I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. So you cast invisibility on yourself, and then the creature like makes a cut and lands on the roof across from where you were or are, and is there and you can hear the wyvern like, and the guy. You see now this large, imposing draconid figure sitting on top of the creature, and he kind of goes down and he says, "Ah, you saw it too, then, Brimside."
Jesus. Okay, I gotta find this.
I want to
ability I have.
get the fuck out of here.
What is my magical tinkering thing?
God.
Wait. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to just give me.
Don't move.
He can't see
I
you
would-
if you don't move.
It's okay. He's just got a Bilbo Baggins this shit. It's fine.
I would say the opposite. Move as fast as possible quietly.
What does Abel know about wyverns?
Make a nature check.
He
You're
said
like
that. He
frozen
said
in
that
place,
out
and you're
loud.
like, "What do I know?"
He said that out loud to
Oh
himself.
my god, that's like in The Hobbit the musical when he has his flashback with the dragon where he goes, "What did my nephew once tell me about dragons?" Oh my god.
What does Abel know about wyverns? Like he's talking to himself again.
I know. Fade to the flashback. 19.
Okay, so you know that they're related to dragons, and that they, unlike dragons,
More about like their senses and.
they have
useful
fairly strong
information.
senses of smell.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
this is what I want to do. I'm going to very carefully bend down and see if I can pick up like a small rock or something. And I'm going to use my magical tinkering ability, which lets me take a non-magical object and imbue it with a magical property. In this case, I'm going to give it a smell. What do wyverns eat? What do they really like?
Genius.
Meat.
Just meat.
Meats of any kind.
Come on.
Oh, you
Animals,
must have
The
been
creatures.
more the better.
I figure they like.
Like roast chicken or something. Come on.
Only without being roasted.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it smell like a fresh kill. So just like that strong iron smell in the air
Okay.
of like just blood, like buckets of blood that have just been leaking.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna toss it at the other end of the little alleyway.
Make a dexterity check.
Is this a deck? Could it be a sleight of hand, maybe?
This is how far you can throw this object.
Oh, just how far I can
Yeah.
throw it. Okay.
Come on, Himbo Squad.
I'm telling you, this freaking
Show me the Himboness. You got it.
D&D thing has been rolling shit for me. Natural 20! 21.
So invisible Abel chucks the rock down the alley, and it kind of pings against a wall, and then bounces towards the end of the alleyway. And for a moment, like the rider on top of Brimside is like looking around, and then he from like you hear like this growling sound, and then Brimside shifts, and you can see like shale roofing tiles like crack and tumble down into the alleyway as Brimside like hops over to the next roof, and then to the next roof to the right, and he's like, "What you got him, boy? All right, let's go get him." And he like hops over, and then they drop down onto the main road at the end of the alleyway. And then you just see like the large hulking body of Brimside come to the end of the alley, and he's sniffing there. And then you see the rider step off and come around, and he has this massive glaive at his side. And he's
I'm looking at that while I'm making my way.
Yeah.
out.
all right. Make a stealth check with advantage.
By the way,
I notice this as I run.
Far, far away. Get the fuck out of Dodge.
I'm throwing this dice away
12.
with advantage. Did you roll with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
You roll twice, right?
Yeah. All right. And so you disappear down the alley further, and you just hear the sound of Grimside sniffing and growling. And then you get far enough away that you don't hear it anymore. As you keep making your way through town, you kind of look back and you see the creature lifting up into the air and circling off towards the mine.
On my way to the Areola Special. Let's go.
Oh. Is that Erogenes drought? Okay.
That's what I said.
All right.
Erogenous zone, the
I did not on my
the G
bingo-
spot.
on my D&D bingo card, there was no spot for Abel gets away from tense situation with meat smelling rock. That was not on my list of things I thought would happen.
First of all, it's on brand.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Abel gets away from most dangerous fucking thing in the whole city with a meat rock. Genius. It's fucking
Yes.
so.
Kaimana would approve.
Your boy is
Rock.
innovative. Your boy is
Yeah.
innovative.
We had key soap. We had this. We had spider climb candy. We had I'm your progenitor. The second. What the fuck is going on?
I mean,
I'm about to get assaulted by a dragon because I'm walking around with a giant pile of fish right now.
Oh my god.
all right.
And meanwhile, Jordan's like, well, I gotta go not fight my ex-boyfriend. Here we go.
Yeah, that wasn't on our bingo, but I'll bet Areola Special was.
Free space.
I think we left that back at High Tower.
Oh my god.
All right, so then, Saurus, you're at Erogenes Drought, and maybe 30 minutes or so after you got there, Abel comes in, like, probably paler than usual. Visibly shaken.
I'll go right to the bar. And one shot, please.
Bartender puts it out for you. Yep. And then, if you guys want to have a conversation or talk to each
Yes,
other.
let Solis know Kaimana's plan. You know how he is. It's hard to argue with him, so I left him in the care of Anansi. So if there's any danger, Anansi can notify me as soon as possible. But he did task me with creating a copy of something that I'll be working on in my room. I don't want to say. I don't want to say out loud because pretty sure the wrist breakers are having us tailed after that little interruption we had in the park.
Yeah, but you were fine just saying my cover identity out loud and what I
Well,
was.
they don't want they don't want us to get busted by the Tide Waters, so they're not gonna. Gonna tell on you.
Can Abel cast Detect Magic, or is that Jury?
It's,
I can.
They both can.
It's yeah.
I basically described to Abel what Beaker has said about being observed and that they had these necklaces on and that he said I had one. So basically I want you to scan me.
Make an Arcana check, Ron, or Abel.
We can both cast Identify,
Do you
by
want to
the
do
way.
this?
I don't have Detect Magic, just to clarify.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do this here, or do you want to go up to the room where it would be?
Go up to the room.
It's more private. All right, so we head
Yeah,
up to
take
the
your
room.
shirt off.
Oh my. Make an Arcana check just for when he said that to you.
Take your shirt off, or
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I just had to.
So apparently Abel's into furries. So
Canon.
See?
He
I
likes
thought I had
anything
to
that's
do
not
that.
human, apparently. He's got Artex, he's got Saurus now.
I think I have something that gives me advantage on Arcana checks.
Oh my god, that made me red in the
It
face.
might be
when
one of
I
your
laughed so hard.
artificer abilities, yeah.
Jace, you're just on fire tonight.
Silly little session game.
As opposed to
You have a point.
True.
You have a point.
That higher body temperature just really working for Jason's brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just a 16.
16. When he says that, immediately you're kind of thinking like being observed. He describes like what Beaker did, and it makes you think that the only thing you can think of is that it might be a scrying spell. And And you know that a scrying spell cannot be detected using detect magic. It can be seen using Sea of Visibility.
I think.
Yeah, and what my thing is if he's being scryed, then the necklace is acting as a locator, because I want to scry this thing. So when I'm saying detect magic, I'm wanting him to basically see, do I have something embedded in me that needs to be cut out?
Yeah, and it would be able, to be very difficult to know, because the way the detect magic works, you cannot see things on the other side of transparent or opaque surfaces. So it'd be
what if it
difficult
made me
to know.
invisible?
I think that would just make what's inside of you invisible as well. Just as your clothes go invisible when you are turned. I think.
Yeah, but if something that the detect magic would have an aura off of, if the skin is acting as a buffer, if it's invisible, depends on how you interpret the magic. So, this is me trying to persuade Josh to allow something that probably isn't legal.
It would definitely be difficult.
This would be. We could try.
Either that, or you just cut into me.
I don't want to cut into you.
Well, I don't want you to cut into me either, but I don't want to have. I don't want them to be able to detect us wherever we are, whenever they want.
Do I know of a way to block a scrying spell?
Yes, but when he says that to you, you also know that, like, if he's using this object to pinpoint the location of a creature, it's just that it makes it easier to scry on them.
Mm-hmm.
The absence of the object, because they're familiar with one another, it would make it harder to scry without the an object like that, but it wouldn't make the scrying impossible.
Yes, so I would want to just block the scrying altogether.
Yes, but you do know that there are objects, magical objects that can be worn.
If only we were in Hightower where we could go buy one.
Yes.
Oh, we are not.
Make a intelligence check and add your proficiency modifier. Abel.
For me?
Yep.
Smart boy. Do it, smart boy.
Use your big brain time.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, buddy. Oh.
A 10. That wyvern just shook me, man. I'm telling you.
Like, can you try rolling on like a different website? This is crazy.
I need to stop using it.
Hey,
A fucking 20. Had I rolled that's fine. A fucking 20.
Yeah, so you know, Abel, that you could make one. You know how to make one. You just know that it would also probably take you about 3 or 4 hours.
We have time to kill. Okay.
You probably have all the materials that you need from all of the ransacking that you guys have done.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. You're going to give me a hand, and we are going to make a key and an object to block the scrying spell.
It's going to be hard for me to be, fight with only one hand.
You are going to keep both of your hands intact. And
He's learning
the way I
jokes.
request.
He made it funny.
That is what we'll do. Okay, I'm going to go in my bag of holding and get out my smith supplies and my tinkering tools.
Okay. You also grab the materials that you need to make the necklace.
Yes.
So you just you have a
I figured
necklace
the
to
key
throw
would be
away.
the easiest thing for me to make. So
Yeah, and
we'll start with the necklace.
you mark off one of the gems, any gem that's worth 100 gold.
Oh man.
You guys have found a lot of them, so just mark off that this will require you.
But
to do
most of
that.
them ended up with Kaimana.
Yes, but Abel's got
I
it.
might have a
Yeah.
gem. Hold on. I did have some gems. Give me a backpack. Okay.
All right. So you doing the key first or the necklace first?
I'm gonna do the key last. I figure that's the easiest thing to do.
Okay, that takes about 35 minutes or so for you to, kind of put your crucible together, melt down some metal, and forge a key for from the mold that Kaimana created. So you have a key that will open the captain's thing, and then you start the process of creating the necklace. Go ahead and make a smith's tools or tinker's tools check. It's intelligence plus your proficiency.
Not rolling. What am I adding? I'm sorry.
Intelligence and proficiency.
Okay. Oh, it fell out of the bucket. Okay, it's 15.
Okay.
22.
22. So it doesn't take you the full 4 hours that it would have taken you to construct it, but you start drawing your sigils on the ground. You put all of the materials there, and you begin the work of tying the sigils that you've constructed on the ground to the object using your tinkerer's tools, and these ephemeral spell lines begin to connect to them, and eventually the sigil begins to shrink a little bit and it gets absorbed into the stone, and the stone glows for a moment, and you have a object that will block scrying only on Saurus.
Okay. I will hand him this stone. I hope no one complains about the smell coming from the room, but this will hopefully...
I have a feeling in a place like this is not the worst thing that has ever happened.
I heard there's a lot going on with areolas in this place. So, so yeah, this will hopefully block this drying spell for you. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. The areola joke just came to me, and it's...
It does require attunement.
Oh, jeez.
Question for you, Josh. Does
Yes.
the bracers of the dancer require attunement?
I don't remember.
What do you
Was
think
it on the
about
card?
your-
Did the card that I send you say attunement?
I don't know because I didn't save the card. I just copied it to
Yeah.
my sheet. It did not say on what I...
Broop, broop. I have to go. My notes from episode 8. Let's see.
That's why you look for that.
Yes,
Sort of.
they do.
Never mind, sorry.
They do require attunement.
Okay. And the Sash of the Four Winds, did that require attunement? Or
Yeah.
is that something that was
That
natural?
requires
for me?
attunement as well.
Okay. I need to think then.
This could be a temporary situation. If we get back to Hightower, maybe there's something that's a bit more sophisticated than what I put together.
They would all require attunement. You know that.
Oh, well then. I'm
Because
just saying-
it has to.
I'm just saying that to
Because
make you feel better.
it blocks it from the person attuned to it.
Oh.
I'll figure it out by our next session when we go out, which
All right.
what I'm going to give up.
All right. As you guys are upstairs
And
working,
this is the what's this called? The
I don't.
filter of
I don't have a name of
Anti-scrying.
it. I'll come up with the name of it. I'll send it to you.
okay, because there is this, I thought there was in one of the versions of D&D there was something, and
Yeah,
they get
I don't think
perfect
there is in
scrying.
5e, but there is. there's versions of it floating around out there. So yeah. While they're up there working, Kaimana, or Jury, and Marlo, you do return, and you find the base of Erogenes Drought empty, minus Yorian sitting in the corner.
Of course.
But
As we enter and Mar witnesses the scene, Mar's gonna go, right, Shuri, let's go do that thing that we were gonna do in my room, like we talked about.
Yorian stands up and he says, "Don't worry, I'm leaving. I've got to get my men together
Yorian,
to
you're here.
go spy on the ship. Hate to be a bother."
I am.
You're
here.
You're not a bother. Okay, we'll talk later.
Of course.
And Jerry just push past and head up.
All right.
Our scurries after.
All right, so you guys are there in the base of Raji's Drought. You're having conversation or just waiting and...
Sorry, I butchered that. I really tried my best, and I got
Mark,
I
you
got
did
nervous.
fine.
No, well,
I mean, it wasn't good, but you did your thing. I mean,
Yeah.
he knew what the situation was. It's not like you had to trick him or anything.
well, I was trying to put the heat on me. I can tell.
It's appreciated.
Cool.
I kind of know after what happened, it might be hard to trust me.
After the conversation we had.
Well, yeah, after this, I mean, I'm part of Vox Populi and
Oh,
was with Yorian at one point, and I know it
I mean,
might
you
be-
didn't know, though, that he was like planning all that shit.
No, I really didn't know that's what he was planning.
Yeah.
Make a
Hello?
deception check.
I think, did Jury know, is that why they broke up? I
Well,
can't remember
it kind of
the-
depends. Is jury implying that they never knew before the rest of the
He-
group?
No, not about that part of it.
Okay.
He didn't know what the specifics of the plan were.
Okay,
is what
then
I'm saying.
it's fine. Then that's not deception.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know. I knew he was going to do something stupid, but
Yeah.
um,
Well, I mean, you know, sometimes people are cool, and then you learn more about them, and you're like, actually, just kidding.
why, do you have personal experience?
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? No.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's
What, you don't have any dangerous exes roaming?
I certainly don't have that.
Oh, with your sparkling people skills, I'm a little shocked.
All right, well, that's mean. Those just
I'm just
got low.
I'm just joking with you.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
You've got like the cool wandering swordswoman thing with the hat. The hat.
is that
I
my
mean,
whole thing? So
I mean, I hope that's what you have going for you. It's not what you just did right there.
Oh, I don't know. All I meant was like, you know, I get what it's like to be in a group of people and not like some of what they do.
Interesting.
So
What does Kaimana give you the wrong orders sometimes? You're talking about the other thing.
yeah, I'm definitely talking about the other thing.
Yeah, think.
I don't know if Vox Populi knows a lot about the order, Josh, or if you have any knowledge of them. I feel
Make
like
a history check.
because I feel like they're pretty secretive, and it would be kind of hard to
Super.
infiltrate them.
I feel like there's no
Without-
point in
without
infiltrating.
werewolves?
I feel like there's no fucking point.
I got a 16.
As far as you've had in conversation, there's been no mention of the orders. Vox Populi seems much more concerned about like political power groups and not that Mars Order is necessarily military, but not military power groups.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know much about whatever you have going on with that.
I mean, it's like, hey, you want to be cool and fight bad stuff and like have a purpose in your life? Let me curse you, and then that's kind of like the vibe. Kind
Oh. It's like Vox Populi, but with extra steps that are not good.
of. Yeah, kinda. I don't know if they're planning on blowing up anything soon, but you know, maybe. Probably not. But maybe.
What would you do if something like that happened?
Oh.
Jury like sees you're uncomfortable and like waves a hand. It's like I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, no.
You don't have that's obviously there's a lot more to that.
No, I mean, I'm not in this situation where I have to, like, you know, pick. So, right now.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
As we're kind of like chatting, I'm like looking around. I'm like, do you think the others are back yet?
I don't fucking know.
I'll go up to the bartender and ask if anyone from our group's come up.
Yeah, your two friends were here earlier. They went upstairs about
Just two.
3 hours ago. Yeah, just the rat one, and then the shiny one.
The
The
clangy
show.
one.
Yeah, the
the
show.
loud one.
Oh no, where's the other one?
I mean, the
I
hands.
look at Mara and I go, where is the other one?
I go upstairs.
we like run upstairs.
Okay, you get upstairs, and around that time, Abel is finishing up his work, and you see this like floating necklace in the air that he catches in his hand as you open the door, and he's there with this necklace with Saurus kind of watching intently the work that Abel's doing.
You made jewelry.
Apparently very important jewelry. We may have a situation where Arumon is able to scry. I was gonna say Rob. Saurus is able to scry Saurus, and this may be our
Haruman
best
breaks
way-
the fourth wall.
This may be our best way to keep him from peeking in on what we are doing.
Make it harder at least.
At least make it harder, yes.
We would explain some things.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's always known what we're up to.
Always gets away before you can get to him.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe this will keep him in the dark about what we are doing.
And I'll drop off my ring of protection.
Okay.
So, where's Kaimana?
Kaimana has decided to stay amongst the other otters on the ship.
What?
Our Kaimana. We're talking about the same person, right? The same one.
Yes.
He's become a crew member.
Has infiltrated their ranks
Yeah.
and left him with
Infiltrated them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So he ran this plan by you, is what I
do you think that I could have stopped Kamala from
Yes, I do think you could have stopped Kaimana.
without causing a huge scene in the middle of? I almost
What's he gonna do?
by
Start
a
like
wyvern.
throwing
simply
ropes
walking
at
back.
you?
Wait.
Come
So you're
on.
saying he went on the ship and did all of this, and then went off the ship, and then you told him he could go back on the ship?
He insisted that he had a plan.
Did you argue, Abel? Did you put up a fight?
I am
Did
a
you sit
foreign
him down
man
and
in a
say, let's
foreign
go
land.
over the pros
I
and
don't-
cons?
Listen. I was lucky to
Source,
get
weren't
back
you
in
there?
time.
Source, weren't you there? Where were you?
I was trying to avoid the rest of us getting spied on.
All right, so your excuse from this conversation.
That's all you, Abel. What the hell, Abel?
At the very least, I am confident he does have a plan. He was able to
I
get
believe that he
a
has a
mold.
plan.
I believe he has
I believe
a
that.
somewhat competent plan. We should give
He
him
is
some
with him.
credit.
Oh, is he gonna meet us back?
Look, I trust Kaimana, and I think he will be capable. It's the other fucking people on that ship I don't trust.
Which is why we have a plan. Anansi's with him, so if things go sideways, we can make our way there.
How long are we supposed to leave him there for?
Is he coming back for the next part of the mission where we try
Well-
to bust into a place?
First, there are lots of questions. One moment. He tasked me with making a copy of this key. That
Did you just show us a bar of soap?
I made the key,
Show us a
man.
bar of
Please move.
soap. Bar of soap and a key, and I'm like, what is happening?
And this is to the captain. I know this is to the captain's quarters, right? He told me that, right?
Yeah.
To the captain's quarters.
Kaimana found a key to the cat. How do I overestimate him and underestimate him at the same time?
He
I
is a
don't
capable
physically understand.
young otter. Or old? I'm not sure how old he is.
Do
Honestly.
you know how
He's
often
11.
I've seen him
Oh.
put his head in a bucket of fish? If you
We
have
all have our vices, which we indulge
Listen,
in.
he's 11. We cut him some slack on some things.
I think that's kind of old for an otter. Come on.
I don't know. I'm just going off of
Marlo.
my years. I think of him
He's
as a
9 years
child.
my senior, so who am I to say anything?
I think, I don't know, perhaps we make our way back at some point to make sure that he is safe, but I don't know what, depending on what you all found on your reconnaissance.
Let's get the report from Yorian about what his spies found out about ship as
Mhm.
far as its readiness level, because that may or may not influence our urgency.
Also, if we tell maybe like some of Yorian's people who are a little bit closer and can probably infiltrate the ship a little more easy than we could, if they could just keep an eye out for Kaimana, because they should know what he looks like, and maybe just like, you know,
Like all
anything
the
were to
other
go
little-
wrong, they could just do a little check-in and, you know.
Find the otter among the other otterkins.
Hey, no, Yorian knows what he looks like at least.
He looks like an otterkin.
Ah,
got a
he's
very
unique
distinct
and
hat.
beautiful.
Okay, he does have the hat.
I'm disguised right now.
oh, shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh God.
it's
I'm disguised with the
Nancy
22.
Anansi is with him, and if anything goes wrong, we will be alerted. I gave Anansi very strict instructions to keep us informed of what is happening.
So I guess we're just
Hopefully,
Maybe.
whatever Kamana is doing, he's maybe sabotaging the ship.
I hate that. I hate that idea.
we're just
Oh,
taking it easy
God.
until Kaimana shows back up.
I don't. I mean, well, it depends on what you all found on your.
We found a whole lot of
Eventually.
shit. Is what we found.
I give a brief rundown of what we saw, what we think our best, you know, entrance strategies are, and so on.
Lots of
Cut
guards.
to Kaimana eating the fat drippings out of the stove in the galley.
Yeah. Kaimana's like at a table with a bunch of other sailors, like eating soup.
Pretending like he belongs there.
Just living his best life. Just
I hate that I'm impressed by this. I hate that Juridi's impressed by this a little bit
no.
on the inside.
So
Kaimana,
what do we
as
do?
night begins to settle on the ship, where do you go?
Sling a hammock with everybody else.
You go sling a hammock with everyone else. Okay.
Yeah.
Oof. I
So
guess we
what
just-
it like? Should we just go do our thing without him?
we
Let
need
me
to get.
reach out to Anansi and see if anything interesting has transpired.
Jory, can you talk to him?
I
With that thing
can.
you do?
Well, let's see what Anansi says first.
Okay,
and then
check it
I
out.
need more
And
details.
we're
You can
going to
save your
need-
spell slots at least. or
We're
your
going to need
skill.
to get the key to Kaimana because the captain stays in town in a house at night, which would free up his cabin for plundering and scouting, which is probably why Kaimana is still staying there. So we at least need to get him the key somehow, even if we don't pull him off, so that he can do what he needs to do. So is that something where Anansi could come and get it and take it back?
Yes, I'm sure he could. Yeah, he could sneak his way this way.
So if we got close to the
or we could
yard.
drop the key somewhere, let Anansi come, pick it up, bring it to him.
either that or we get close by, let Anansi come get it, let Kaimana go and do what Kaimana's going to do, and we're standby close by in case it goes wrong. If it goes smoothly, then we can go on to our next objective.
I like that plan. How about the rest of you?
Sure.
Okay, I will check in with Anansi and see what has transpired. Make sure our beloved Kaimana is safe and sound.
So
curled up in a hammock.
Cut to Kaimana at a poker table. All reds.
once again, he better. Who taught you how to play cards?
I think the wind.
The win. Wow. I think he's been cheating us. What do y'all think? And he looks around and there's like they throw the gold on the table. You have a pot of 6 gold that you just won. And it's like, well, we got to do our rounds. Why don't you take the full deck and I'll take the berth. Come on, no, come on. What? I don't know what name you gave them.
Reggie, I'm going.
Reggie. Check the main deck up top. Just quarter deck. Make sure everything's okay.
Yes.
All right. So you go up, and the sun is set at this point, and you're up on the main deck, and there's a moment where you hear like the tick 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 sound of Anansi climbing out of the bag a little bit, and like tapping you on the shoulder. And Anansi is kind of looking around at what's going on and communicating back to Abel, like that you guys are outside on the main deck alone.
Okay. I will let Jury know. It's like Kamana is alone, so if you want to send him a message, you should be able to respond.
What should I tell him? I send.
Perhaps that we're going to set up a drop off for the key so Nancy can come and get it and bring it to him. And we'll be close by. So if anything goes wrong, it's more than 20 words, but we'll be there to rush in.
Is
that the plan?
I can shorten what you're saying, Abel.
That's the plan, right?
Is that
You're muted, Rob. You're muted.
Rob?
Sorry. Have made key. Anansi will get it.
I
We
can
will
do
be
that.
standing by.
Yeah, that part I got. I'm fine. But hey, Abel's the long-winded one, not me. Okay, you don't have to coach me, Rob.
Listen. Abel's the guy that got himself back here with only a chance.
Listen, the meat rack. I can't make fun of you again. After you told Jury that, Jury was like, I underestimated you too. So yeah, I'll send to Kaimana, and I'll tell. So we're telling him that. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my brain in order.
Yeah.
We're telling him that we can drop off the key tonight, and that will be nearby. Are we hanging out nearby, or?
Yes.
Is that the plan?
Hold on.
Yeah, I don't want to like.
Josh, how many guards patrol around at night, and especially how many will be by the ship that night? If Mar knows or has to guess.
You wouldn't know because you didn't check out the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like the entire crew of the ship is on the ship at night, and you imagine that they have watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Like me.
Right now, Reggie is the watchman. So.
we could just.
Come on up.
And an alley just a couple of blocks away.
And the captain he spends his nights in the mayor's old house.
Yes.
So Anansi could come and get the key now, bring it back to Kamana, let him do his thing with the safety of knowing the captain isn't in his quarters, and
I would, tell him about the key, ask what his plan is, and what he wants, if he wants us, to be by
nearby,
or to go on without him.
Okay. So I'll send dropping off the key for Anansi. What's your plan? What should we do?
I'll wait until Captain neutralized. Then we take the ship. I pretend to be captain. Captain does not like soup.
Oh my god, he just told me some absolute fucking buck wild shit.
Is that for something? Is that
No, I don't think Kaimana's talking to me in code. I think this is part of his intent.
So we can't put poison in.
This may
We
be a riddle.
can't slip him a Mickey in his soup. So apparently that.
So he's waiting for us to neutralize the captain?
He doesn't like soup. Maybe he's going to poison.
Now hold
his
on.
food.
Artax was so fucking close last time. If we get him right, if we put him right there, and we're like, come on, buddy, it's just, you're right, we're so close.
Honestly, that might not.
That might be our best bet here. Is just
If we let
keep hoping.
at the very least, Artax would cause another commotion or distraction that could cover our tracks. So,
And
regardless of what we
distraction from
decide,
Kaimana.
I say we still send Artax out to do his thing.
Now, the
Are you-
problem is,
are
we
you
say
s-
greedy otter. He's probably gonna go multiple of those, and look, a new one on the ship, and we're gonna go, no, Artax,
Did
not
we
that
see
one.
the captain on the ship?
The captain was. Kamada saw the captain.
We didn't see him.
Well, the way the ship is docked and like the
Oh.
angle that you guys are looking at, it'd be a little difficult to see him.
But
We-
he's in
we-
the
we-
house, right?
He's
we
in
go,
the house
We go.
where the Artax doesn't want to go.
Right.
He's the
Damn
devil.
it.
So he won't do that.
We know what
Unless-
Kaimana's disguise is. Right? I don't know.
No, you have no idea what he looks like.
No, we have no
Lord.
idea.
Maybe Kaimana has poisoned the food on the entire ship. And that is why
With that,
he is so confident.
what?
I mean, the soup, what else would that mean?
Do we need to infiltrate and poison the food?
Like this
Is
soup.
that
talking about the same
Now hold on,
person.
was the soup line code for get on the ship and poison the food?
What kind
Is
of
that the
fucking
grand
rude is he just
plan?
causes poison? What are you talking about?
Why else would he bring up soup? I don't.
You're looking too much into it anymore.
I could
I know.
hold on, because
I'm trying
I
to
could
put
make
logic
some
into
wild fucking
Kamana's-
shit that at least would give everyone a stomach ache if consumed, if not murder. And so I'm just saying.
Yeah, he works with chemicals all the time, right?
Exactly. So
It
maybe
makes
if I
sense,
make
Rudy.
something
It
and we can
makes
get it
sense.
to him so he can slip it in the food.
Sora's help! Sora's help! Sora's, I'm like grabbing at your shoulder. Sora's help!
Okay, should I tell Anansi at least to come and get the key?
Yes, we'll drop
Yes.
off
Yes.
the key.
I'm going to tell Anansi to.
Josh,
Oh Lord.
Yes.
what in a between alchemist supplies and an herbalism kit could I make that would possibly murder an individual if consumed?
A lot of things.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You mentioned something earlier about chloroform.
Yes, I also do that.
Chloroform in soup.
Okay.
Chloroform and soup. Now this is something.
I mean, if you ingest it, it will kill you. But if you in it, I mean,
No. I have an idea. It's a bad idea, but it's an idea.
Please.
Kaimana,
This plan's a good one.
Kaimana wants us to disable the captain. So we go with the plan. Anansi gets the key to Kaimana. We know where the captain is going to be, which is at the house, and we know where he is going to end up, which is the ship. We find a place somewhere in between where we can easily ambush him. And we take the captain off the board, let Kaimana know through message. Kaimana can then assume the position of the captain. Now, someone of you has an invisibility spell, and we have 2 invisibility spells, and I have the Hat of Disguise. So, what we do is we wait for the captain to come along. It's going to take some timing. We have to find an area where there's not a lot of people, but basically, I step out as the captain. Somebody chloroforms him, invisibles him. Invisible person chloroforms him. Invisible the captain, drag him off. I go back and then get on the ship and meet up with Kaimana.
Question: why would we just chloroform the captain? Why would we just not kill him?
Oh, you can do that after you drag him off. I'm just
Okay.
going to say that in the middle of the street,
Sure.
it's going to be able to get him off with the least amount of disturbance.
I didn't know if you wanted like him for anything in this.
No. You can
Maybe he knows the name of
you
the
can quiz
demon.
and torture him to
Or
your
the devil.
delight.
It's the
I
demon or
don't
devil.
know why
Devil.
everybody's got on this thing that I I like killing and torturing people. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not
My
saying you
thing.
like it. I'm just saying you're good at it.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate the compliment. It's just
I
not
don't like the
indication.
idea of doing this out in public when we could go do this in the house.
The house where the devil is.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, the devil seems occupied, number one. We have to do it anyway. We have to get in there at some point and figure out the devil's name. So why not knock out two birds with one stone? Get in
Because
there, chloroform the captain while he's asleep, and no one will know.
I was just thinking that I would rather have all of us together when we have to face the devil, because Kaimana could prove to be especially useful in that fight.
Oh,
We're not fighting the no. Fighting the devil is not on the table.
Yes.
They've
We could
never
try
been on
and-
the table.
Right, and we don't know enough about the devil that if he could sense that if somebody crosses that threshold, he's going after them. We don't know what his trigger is, what protections we have. So going in the house right now, I think, is too dangerous unless
We could
we're
try and
ready for
extract
things to
the
go
captain
sideways.
from the ship and see if there's a point where his defenses are weakened, and then we could.
Either that or, oh, I've got another idea.
Oh, great.
We have a couple of invisibilities, right? No. We have a couple of invisibilities, right?
In
Yes.
theory, sure.
So we take those two people. They take the key, meet Kaimana. Kaimana lets them in the captain's room. They're sitting there invisible. Captain comes in, steps into his room. They then chloroform him in the room, bring Kaimana in, and they truss up the captain and keep him in his cabin.
How about we just wait to get the information about when the ship's leaving first, so we're not there when
What was it?
Yorian is walking in and we're murking the captain on the ship. I would love for Yorian to not see that. Love to not make any more waves with that whole situation.
No. Judy, do you know where Yurian is? Is he?
He just took his men to go check what
Oh.
we asked him to check.
They just went to go check on the ship. Okay.
Yeah, when we were coming in.
All right.
It was great.
How far is Anansi away from picking this key up?
Oh, you told him to come back? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, it's probably, for him, it's like 20-minute flight, so he's probably halfway.
Okay.
It's just a short 20-minute flight from the ship to.
I'm just saying the ship can't take off if they've all got a stomach bug. I'm just putting that on the table.
Do you think you have something that you could send by way of Anansi that?
Oh, I could make. I mean, I'm not there, but I could make it happen. I've got the herbalism kit, and I feel like y'all would have picked up by this point that if I wanted to incapacitate the crew, I could.
Oh, yeah.
And the captain, we just want to make sure he's not going to pop up. So if we could track him, I do share your same concern about fighting in the house. So I do agree with that. I don't know.
My question is, if we have to deal with the devil and we don't want to go in the house, that seems like a contradiction, right? Because we're going to have to get the name of the devil, and it's either going to be
we're going to
conversation
have-
with the devil or find the name of the devil.
We're going to have to at some point, but I want to eliminate some players from the board.
How about we just stake out tonight and then we'll get more information. We'll just see what his path is, if he's using kind of magic or stealth to get back. And then we'll move forward tomorrow.
Get the key to Kaimana, see what Kaimana does, go from there.
It sounds like a plan.
Back on deck of the ship, Kaimana, you're standing there, and about 10 minutes ago or so, Anansi had flown off and disappeared off into the night. And you're standing there, having been told to watch the deck. Not really certain what that necessarily means. When you hear a pop behind you and feel a blade against your neck. And you hear a very familiar voice.
Yeah.
All right. Now where's the captain? Yorian's voice.
It's Yorian. It's fucking Yorian.
And we'll pick up there next week.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
He's always
Oh, we're gonna make
looking
all
at
these
our
plans, and that motherfucker's gonna come in and be like, "Actually, my plan is in motion currently, right now."
I'm stealing this ship, bestie. Bestie.
He did not recognize Kaimana with his disguise.
Did you roll to see if it was
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get murdered.
I mean, he rolled high, but Kaimana rolled a 22.
At all.
I'm dead. This whole session was so chaotic.
It was so.
This is so fucking chaotic. I thought last session was chaotic. No.
We were gonna get Josh was gonna get set up, and he was like, I don't think you guys are gonna be into combat, but I just want to be ready.
Just in case.
Like now, I'm like, no, you wish we got into a combat.
No, this was great.
Always the transitional episodes with us that I feel like derail the fucking hardest.
Yes.
Like it's always the ones where you're like, this will be a pretty like straightforward, you know.
We do so much like, well, what if?
We're just gonna figure out how to go from step 1 to step 2. We're on step Q17.
That's why I was like, let's just do the key part first. Let's
Well, now I'm
just see
just
if this goes
imagining-
successfully.
Now I'm just imagining Kaimana going, Dorian!
He's gonna
What's up? How are you?
I'm sure
Infiltrating
the
the
spy
ship?
with a sword to your neck will react
Yeah.
really well when you say his real name.
Oh my god.
Be careful with that, it's sharp.
Well, is Kaimana disguising his voice?
No.
All right, then there's hope.